discuss this view, discuss that view as well. Sometimes it might be discuss this view, discuss that view, give your own opinion, or something like that. So in other words, you have to look at the task very carefully in order to provide the factual information that you need, or to present a solution sometimes, maybe justify an opinion other times, maybe evaluate some evidence or other ideas. Look at this one. Here is an opinion essay. Now this is the thing with IELTS task 2 is that some tasks are easy and some are more difficult. Now this is a problem with IELTS, because if you do the test one day, you might get a fairly easy task, and if you do it on another day, you might get a relatively difficult task. If you did the test on this day, you would get a fairly easy task, because it starts with a statement. Some people believe the increasing popularity of shopping as a leisure activity is a positive trend. Okay? It's positive. It's good that people go shopping on the weekend, that they can go shopping at night, that they go shopping 24 hours. Some people say it's good. And then it's simply you're asked to respond with your opinion. Is it good or is it not good? You're always told this same thing. Give reasons for your answer and give examples from your own knowledge. Now, if I'm giving an example from my own knowledge, am I using the word I? Yes.
Yes, of course.
You are using the word I, because if you're giving your own opinion, if you're saying, yes, this is important, then you've got to say, I think, I believe, in my opinion, this is important. So when your students think about answering a question such as that, tell them that they can use the word I. You're always told to write 250 words, and you're always told to spend 40 minutes. What about this one? Now this is the same topic, but is it simple? The topic is the same. Some people believe the increasing popularity of shopping is a positive trend. Others believe it's harmful. So now it's more complicated. And now this is more complicated. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. In other words, you have to do 3 things. In the previous one, you only had to do 1 thing, but in this one, you have to do 3 things. So your students have to be able to analyse the task and work out how many things do I have to say. What about this one? Here's an example of a multi-part question. Shopping is becoming more popular as a leisure activity. However, some people feel that this has both positive and negative effects. Why is shopping popular? What effect does its increase in popularity have on individuals and society? How many things do you have to do here? 1, 2, 3? How many? Well, really you've got to do at least 3 things here. Why is shopping popular? What is the effect on individuals? And what is the effect on society? If you forgot to talk about the effect on society, or if you forgot to talk about the effect on individuals, then you would be penalised. What about this one? There are problems with the increasing popularity of shopping as a leisure activity. What form do these problems take? Do the problems outweigh the benefits of shopping? How many things do you have to say now?
3.
2 things. What are the problems? And again, look, there's an S here. One problem, okay?
No. At least 2 problems.
At least 2, maybe 3. And then you've got to give an opinion about whether the benefits outweigh the disadvantages. So your students have to practice analysing tasks. And you can produce these tasks yourself. And a simple question could be, how many things you have to do? And they can say 2. And you say, no, 3. Count them. So analysing the task is a very important thing. Okay. Now before we look at the assessment criteria, can I suggest a good task for your students? Sometimes you're very sleepy in the morning, right, as a teacher, and you haven't prepared your lesson, right? And you think, oh no, I've got IELTS, I've got to teach IELTS. Task 1, academic writing. I haven't done any preparation. What am I going to do? Well, here is a good thing to do. This is something that I have done myself. Oh, this is good. Unfortunately. Good. You walk into the classroom and you say, okay, we're going to do an academic task 1. All right? Here is your academic task 1. You have this and this. Okay, good. And then we say, all right, Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group F, G, H, I, J, K. Who's Group E? Who's Group F? Very good. Who's Group A? Who's B? Very good. You have to decide what this graph is about. And then you have to come out and you have to explain to everybody without using a pen. You can't write on this. Explain what it's about. Now this is a good exercise because it's getting your students to think about, well, the time. Is it years? Is it months? Is it seconds? These 2 things, what are they? Is it profits of a company? Is it the population? Is it the temperature over the year? Right? And what's this? Is this millions? Is this percentage? Is this from 1 to 100 or 1 to a billion? Now that means that each of these groups, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, whatever they are going to be talking to each other. And they're going to be saying, oh yeah, let's talk about this. What's that? Oh yes, would that be right? Now what are they doing? They are using English. They're doing an academic task 1, but they're practicing speaking. You don't let them speak in Bengali, they're speaking in English. So they're doing an academic task 1, but they're practicing speaking.
Yep.
So that's good. Now this is integrating your classroom. So every time you teach, you're not just teaching writing, you're not just teaching listening, you're teaching everything together. So these people are practicing their speaking, they're practicing their listening, they're practicing their academic task 1 writing, and then they come out and they have to present to the rest of the group, and then they're practicing their speaking again. Now, I did this with some very naughty Russian people once upon a time. Very funny. You know many Russians? Very good sense of humour sometimes. And they said, this graph describes the satisfaction with marriage between men and women. And as you can see, at the beginning of the marriage, the men and the women are fairly similar in terms of their satisfaction. And then they went on and they discussed all of that stuff, right? So that was a very funny thing. And when as the teacher, you can give them a reward. You can say, okay, I am going to assess the grammar, the vocabulary, and the humour as well. All right? And you can give them extra points.
And I'm gonna help you to marry each other.
I won't tell you. You have to guess. I'm not going to tell you what happens, sorry. So anyway, there you are. You have a beautiful lesson without any preparation. And that will take maybe an hour and a half, presentation. Then they can write it down. Okay, so there's a task that you can...
it's better not to prepare ourselves before the class, right?
That's right, sometimes you can't prepare. Because
cannot be happen.
Yeah.
Few time can be happen without preparation, but every time cannot be happen with preparation.
That's right. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. Look at your book, look at page number what is it? Page number 20. So you've got your assessment criteria there for task 1. And the assessment criteria that you have there are similar, but not exactly the same as for as the examiner uses. The examiner will have much more, but this is a good indication of what your students are assessed on. This is 1 page, the examiner has 2 pages. Whose students are around about 6? Whose students are around about 7? Whose students are around about 5? 4? Okay, so quite a mix, right? If you look at these assessment criteria, you'll see that the big difference, well actually let's look at the criteria. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. This one is simply, do you understand the task? If you understand the task, then you will get a good score here. If you don't understand the task, you won't get a good score. If you look at band 5, here, it says that I can't read that. Thanks. My friend. I can't say your name, but it's okay, you're still my friend. At band 5 it says, no clear overview. Do you see that? No clear overview.
Second.
Yeah.
You can't read.
I can't read it. An overview means, remember when we looked at the task, make comparisons? That's an overview. An overview is basically saying, yes, this is the case here, but then that is different to that, and it's different to that, or these things are similar. An overview is giving us a very short summary, 2 sentences, 1 or 2 sentences. And often it is in the first paragraph, often it's in the concluding paragraph, and sometimes it might even be in the middle of the essay. It doesn't matter. As long as there is an overview, the examiner can then go 6, 7, 8 or 9. But if there's no overview, the examiner must stop here. It could be beautiful, it could be a great essay, but no overview, it must get a 5 for this. If in general training task 1, it says not all key features, what is it? Not all bullet points are addressed. It says here at band 4, very good. Not all key features or bullet points. So if you miss out on a key feature in academic or a bullet point in general training, then you can't get more than a 4. So that's very important. That's right. Here, there is a clear overview. If you look at coherence and cohesion, this is all about paragraphs and using connecting words, linking words. Furthermore, however, on the other hand, as well. Subsequently, consequently. Of course, on the other hand. If the paragraphing is not very good, you can't get an 8 here for task 1. Lexical resource means that you are able to use appropriate words and you can spell them correctly. At band 6, maybe you don't spell very well, but I still understand what you're saying. Here, if you don't spell very well, you can't get a 7. So your students should